Welcome to On Paulsboro. This week's program comes to you on Broad Street from Weiss's True Value, celebrating 80 years in business. Irma?
You don't think twice, you think Weiss, John, and this is always home to us. Of course, I always loved the store on Delaware Street, but this is much bigger.
Oh, it's a big deal, 80 years. And in fact, we mentioned 80 years. Irma was saying before the show started, Tony DeLuigi is at home recuperating. So, Tony, we want you to get well real soon and understand that there's a possibility that maybe the barbershop in service since 1926 or thereabouts may not reopen. That'll be a great loss. But, of course, most important for Tony to get strong again so he can get back to his poker game.
Definitely. I'm sure Harris is missing him.
They'll probably send a car. We've got an interesting program. We've got the press conference from the port, which talks about an important light rail. That'll be self-explanatory. Then we visited with Federal Senator Bob Menendez, played a very important part and big part in getting the money for the rail spur. Then we're going to visit here at Weiss's, as I mentioned, celebrating the 80th anniversary and how important is it to have a local hardware store and how fortunate we are after coming through Sandy and the threat of the nor'easter and God knows what weather is coming for the winter. But Weiss's lights will be on. We'll be right back.
Multi-policy discount, paperless discount, paid in full discount, homeowners discount, safe driver discount, chipmunk family reunion, someone stole the nuts, squirrel jail, justice.
Countless discounts. Now that's progressive. Call or click today.
Thinking about a new appliance or an LCD TV? Don't think twice. Think Weiss. Weiss True Value has a full line of LCD TVs plus a great variety of appliances. And of course, hardware items like TrueTest paints, Master Mechanic tools, electrical supplies, key duplicating, and Rug Doctor rentals. And for repairs on screens and windows, look no further. Weiss True Value, from making keys to selling appliances and LCD TVs. Don't think twice. Think Weiss. 39 West Broad Street, Paulsboro.
Welcome back. With me now is Newt Weiss. I mentioned at the top of the show a program originating from Weiss's True Value Hardware on Broad Street in Paulsboro. Plenty of free parking, I might add, both a parking lot and on-street parking. This store was very, very busy heading into the storms. And with me now is Newt Weiss. Been on the program before. His son Phil, who's running the operation as well, very supportive of this program, been a sponsor for all the years you've been on. So, Newt, 80 years in business.
Correct. My dad started back in 1932. He was a builder at the time, and the building was not too prosperous in the Depression, so we had to do something, had to eat, or they needed hardware. So we knew the hardware business, so we went into the hardware business.
And over those 80 years, you've seen some changes in retail. Forget about just the computer itself and how all that's changed, but just retailing's changed.
Definitely, with the advent of the big boxes has taken some of our business, but we do service, and we help the people that come in. We have knowledgeable people here that take care of their needs.
And every town had a local hardware store, but there's not as many as there once were. The ones that are around seem to be doing pretty good in face of the competition.
Right. We had 3 hardware stores in Paulsboro. We had Clark's, was down in the Delaware Street, and Lutstein's across the street, and then our own on Delaware Street. You marked
this 80th anniversary with a pretty special day.
We had the band inside, a couple inside. We had a band outside. We had lots of activity going on.
But, of course, the big activity, as I mentioned, and Phil's going to join us in a second. He's standing off to the side in preparation for the hurricane. Nothing like a natural event of weather to remind people that they need batteries and shovels.
Right. We ran out, and the True Value, our supplier, distributor, sent out a special emergency truck on Monday that helped us fill in with the batteries and what have you.
And that's why I mentioned as retail has changed, because things have gotten very quickly. Phil, come on in. Phil's standing off to the background. We always, when we get in for a segment, we try to get in a couple times a year. Always ask Phil what he's promoting. And Phil, so Newt, stay with us, Newt. Generations side by side, by the way. Now, can you tell which one is older of the two? Phil, first of all, welcome. Thank you for helping with the show, as you always do.
Well, thank you very much for coming in today to shoot the show from here.
Well, we always call it plenty of notice, too. It was like 4:30 last night. Said, can we come in and shoot the show? So what would you like from a standpoint of focus? I mean, I touched on the hurricane. I was in and out of store a couple of times. You could have sold as many generators as you could have gotten.
It was unbelievable. We had a number of phone calls Friday, Saturday, Monday for generators, flashlights, batteries. We had a fair supply of the batteries and flashlights and things until Saturday, and then we sold out. Generators, we were able to secure some on Monday. They were sold before they got off the truck. Monday, like my father said, we did get an emergency truck from True Value. They were very responsive to us, our needs, and we were able to bring in some more flashlights and batteries. And then thankfully, everything passed, and Tuesday we were open for normal business.
And Phil, you still do well in appliances.
We sell our appliances mainly by word of mouth. We don't advertise them, probably should. Families, cousins, sometimes folks come in and just happen to see stuff here on the floor and start asking us, and we don't have commissioned salespeople. We do our own delivery, so we can be extremely competitive with the boxes on the appliances.
Now, Phil, you wanted to make mention of special promotion coming?
Yes, we are, for the 4th year, are running a weekend after Thanksgiving sale. It will be Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. We'll be open that Sunday of Thanksgiving weekend. It's a 2-page broadsheet, and the items are 50% off of what they would normally be. There's a limited supply that True Value sends us, and once, unfortunately, we're out of them, we're out, we cannot reorder. But the prices are unbelievable, and a lot of the items are really, really neat stuff. Folks who have participated before knows what basically is in it from year to year. The county economic development is really, really doing a great job with Shop Local Saturday. We're participating in that with the county economic development, and Paulsboro's Chamber of Commerce is also running an ad in regards to Shop Local Saturday on that weekend, and it should really, really do wonders for town, hopefully.
Well, as I mentioned, having a hardware store local at the time of that storm, you really appreciate what's available. Phil, give us the store hours again so people know.
Monday through Friday, 8:30 to 5:30. Saturday, 8:30 to 4, and closed on Sunday.
And the store phone number?
856-423-0600. My 2 children just walked in.
Well, bring them in. And while Phil was doing that, the reason I asked him to give you the phone number, True Value also offers an online shopping service. And if you go online and look at True Value, you can have something drop shipped directly to the store with no shipping charge. We're missing one, Phil.
Yes, Sarah.
I can't believe she's shy. Come on in. Come on in.
Today is her birthday, her 17th birthday, and she passed her driver's test this morning.
Sarah, get in the middle, please.
And this is my son, Michael. He's 12.
Michael, Sarah, 3 generations of Weisses. Broad Street in Paulsboro. Don't think twice, think Weiss.
Well, we just wanted to bring this by. Cornwall, myself, and Joe, all 3 of us are graduates of Paulsboro High School. Our families have shopped at Weiss Hardware for many years, not quite as many years as the 80 that they've been open, but it's our distinct pleasure to bring back to a hometown group, and Joe brought this up and brought it to our attention and got everything going. But we'd like to present a certificate of achievement to Weiss's True Value Hardware for your dedication and keeping Paulsboro going. As we were talking, Mr. Weiss, keeping a base in Paulsboro and keeping a nice place where you can go and you can shop at a reasonable price. And you've always been very good to the people of Paulsboro, your whole entire family, and it's been an honor to know both you and your wife, but your children through the course of high school and everything else, and we couldn't be prouder to present this to you. And thank you for everything you've done for the residents of Paulsboro.
Thank you very much.
Joey?
Yeah, thank you very much. Thank you. You know, growing up in Gibbstown, it was often we took trips out here, and you know, it was probably never that we left without anything, because you had anything, you knew where everything was, and I was a kid growing up, I was always amazed at that. But thank you so much for being such a staple to the community here and serving these communities well, and I wish you another 80 years of service to the community. But it's just something to say, because you know, growing up here, you can see the 5 and Dime stores gone, and some things have changed, but this is always here, and this is a staple of the community, and we're very proud of you. And just glad to see that this day came and is recognized.
And as we always say, don't think twice, think Weiss.
Thank you. See you on Broad Street.
See you on Broad Street.
Life is a journey that we travel with a lot of uncertainty. When your family is faced with change and you're in need of understanding, direction, honesty, and professionalism, we at the Landolfi Funeral Home have a tradition of assisting you with all of your needs in any way that we can. We offer many affordable funeral services. Please feel free to call us with any questions you may have or visit us at www.landolfifuneralhome.com.
Rizzo Family Chiropractic Center in Gibbstown offers pain relief with a difference. Using specific chiropractic adjustments, Rizzo Family Chiropractic will get to the root of your problem quickly. Bring your headaches, neck, back, joint, or limb pain to Dr. Karen Rizzo. If you have recurring pain, chiropractic can help. Rizzo Family Chiropractic can relieve many sources of pain without extended treatment and ongoing therapy. Give your family the gift of caring professional pain relief with a difference. Rizzo Family Chiropractic.
The Paulsboro Port Project took another major step with the announcement by Federal Senator Robert Menendez and Congressman Rob Andrews, as well as our local officials, county officials, Freehold Director Robert Damager, and of course Senate President Sweeney, myself, and Celeste Riley, in the successful acquisition of what's called a Tiger Grant, which involves infrastructure, in this particular case railroads. And the press conference Fred was able to get out with the camera is self-explanatory. Real important stuff, going to tie together three ports, which is going to really unlock the port. And if you notice carefully in the background, you see the work going on for the overpass, which is going to link the port to Paradise Road and 295. Let's go to the press conference, and following that, we're able to catch up with Senator Menendez. He visited with us for a moment or two. He's been on the show before. We enjoyed catching up with him, and we thanked him for his efforts. Let's go to the press conference.
Directors, I want to welcome you to this important day as we sign a partnership with our agreements with Conrail and Salem County in coordination with the Tiger 3 grant program. This grant was critical into enhancing South Jersey's global competitiveness by upgrading vital freight lines from our ports to our heartland in the center of the country.
This is an example of a complete team effort on the county, the state, and the federal level. I'm pretty sure this is the only Tiger 3 grant the state of New Jersey got. It's $18.5 million out of $38 million. We got half. And if we didn't, and if it wasn't for our federal representatives, Senators Menendez and Lautenberg, our congressmen Andrews and Lobiondo, we wouldn't have been successful. And I want to thank them, because this isn't Republican, Democrat, this is jobs.
We're never going to be as strong as we should be until we revive the manufacturing economy of our country and of our region. This project is essential to that manufacturing revival. And I think all the partners deserve a lot of credit. Conrail, South Jersey Port, the county governments, particularly those in Salem and Gloucester that work so very hard on this.
The project will leverage tens of millions of dollars in private and local investment to renew critical rail links to the port at Salem, invest in upgrades for the ports at Salem and Paulsboro themselves, as well as finance improvements to Camden Port. And the much-needed rail and bridge upgrades will, in turn, better link these port facilities with the rest of the region and the nation.
We're very pleased to have with us now Senator Robert Menendez. He's been on the program before. He makes it through the region quite often, but we don't always have the television camera around. But the good senator doesn't always look for the TV camera, because he makes a real honest effort. So, Senator, first of all, welcome to the show. This goes all through Gloucester County. You represent the entire state. The landscape in Washington is busy.
Well, Assemblyman, first of all, thanks for the opportunity and for your leadership here in the region and in the state capitol. Yeah, I mean, the landscape is busy. You know, what we're focused on is, as we're doing here today, creating jobs, economic opportunity, growing this economy, getting people back to work. And that's why, whether it's the project here at Paulsboro and the Paulsboro Port, which you've been such a great champion on, thinking about the possibility for offshore wind turbines to be created in Paulsboro, linking our transportation network so that we can expand the region, looking at the new solar jobs we've brought to the state. There are 10,000 100,000 people working in the solar industry in New Jersey today. My tax credits made that greatly possible. Looking at growing our biotech in the southern part of the state, incredibly important as we match up with the growth of Rowan and University. And so all of these opportunities are about getting our people back to work and creating prosperity again and helping them realize their dream.
Having been a mayor where you could make decisions, there's a sense that occasionally Washington sort of locks up. It must be frustrating for you.
Well, as you know from your time as mayor, executive powers has its benefit of being able to be responsible, but also being able to make it uniquely possible because of your decisions to see things happen. Legislatively, it's always a little more difficult when you're working with a body of 100 other members. But Assemblyman, some of my greatest successes have been by reaching out to the other side. In a state that has the highest rate of autism in the nation, I passed the Combating Autism Act when I reached out to the Republican senator from Wyoming and broke a Republican filibuster to get it signed into law. Working with the Republican senator from Illinois, I passed the toughest sanctions against Iran, which is a country that's seeking nuclear weapons, not in the national security interest of the United States. Working with a Republican senator from Nebraska, I doubled the amount of housing for the disabled in our country. All of these and so many other initiatives, working, a very important one, working with a Republican senator from Iowa, Chuck Grassley, I passed a relief for over 2 million New Jerseyans who would be bit by an additional tax at the federal level called the alternative minimum tax that was never meant for New Jersey middle-class families, but ultimately, since it was never indexed for inflation, now it bites them. Well, I got that relief done. So some of my greatest successes have been reaching out to the other side, and I'm not hesitant to do that at all if it means I can create results for the people in New Jersey.
And that's why you're successful. And that's, and I say that not just because the senator's standing here, because he is a friend, but it's not an easy landscape to work on these days. You've got the economic challenges taking place. You have people's frustrations. They're looking to government. Some would say they look to government too often, but government, as the president said, is not always the problem, and it's not always the answer, but it's not always the problem.
No, it's not always a problem. I don't believe government can or should do everything. But there are things it can do to help people's lives. So when I listen to these comments about the 47% of Americans who feel that somehow their victims are entitled, who are these people? There's some of the people doing the toughest jobs in our state, sometimes some of the dirtiest jobs in our state, but they do it with dignity every day. They sustain their families. They work hard. Maybe they don't make that much money to pay the type of taxes some people would like them to, but they're working hard, and the dignity of their job isn't less than anybody else's. How about senior citizens who help raise our families, build communities, worked very hard, pay taxes, and now in the twilight of their lives, they're facing challenges in their health care, like my mom did, in Medicare. They don't think they're victims or they're entitled, but they paid into these programs, and now it's time for them to be able to live with dignity in the twilight of their life. How about the men and women who wear the uniform of the United States and go halfway around the world so we can freely pursue our freedoms here in this country? And then they come back without a leg or an arm, or their vision is gone. I visited them at Walter Reed Hospital. I've seen their challenges, and yet they have an incredible spirit. But does not a grateful nation ultimately feel an obligation to them to take care of their health care and their disabilities? So they may not be making money now, but they serve their nation, and they will again once they get, rehabilitated from their injuries. So, I believe that government can be a force of good. Can't do everything, shouldn't do everything. And here, what we're doing here today is some government money, but it's going to unlock a lot of private sector money to create a lot of jobs and economic opportunity. That's when government works the best.
And has an important role. This infrastructure discussion, as you heard through the press conference, very, very significant. We just visited with Senator Robert Menendez. Happy to have him in town for this announcement on this important grant that's going to unlock this port. It's sort of adding another artery to what's going to be an important heartbeat to drive this local economy. Stay with us. We're coming right back. Thank you.
Multi-policy discount. Paperless discount. Paid in full discount. Homeowners discount. Safe driver discount. Chipmunk family reunion. Someone stole the nuts. Squirrel jail. Justice.
Countless discounts. Now that's progressive. Call or click today.
Thinking about a new appliance or an LCD TV? Don't think twice. Think Weiss. Weiss True Value has a full line of LCD TVs plus a great variety of appliances. And of course, hardware items like TrueTest paints, master mechanic tools, electrical supplies, key duplicating, and rug doctor rentals. And for repairs on screens and windows, look no further. Weiss True Value, from making keys to selling appliances and LCD TVs. Don't think twice. Think Weiss. 39 West Broad Street, Paulsboro.
Welcome back. It's a real pleasure to have with me my legislative partner, Celeste Riley, who resides in Bridgeton and serves with myself and Senate President Sweeney, making up the third legislative team. Celeste took Doug Fisher's place. Doug is, of course, our Secretary of Agriculture, so if you were pleased with the produce this year, then Doug's in good standing. If you weren't, we'll give you a phone number for him. But Celeste chairs higher education on the Assembly side and did great work related to the unification of Rutgers University back to its medical school, the expansion of Rowan University. Celeste, that was, first of all, everyone recognizes it as being landmark legislation, but that was a real worker.
Absolutely, and I have to give a lot of credit to the Senate President for getting all the parties together and making sure that we came out with a product that everyone seems to be quite pleased with. And it's going to be good for not only the whole state of New Jersey, but particularly here in South Jersey. We now have 2 medical schools located here in South Jersey. That's pretty extraordinary.
Oh, it's a big deal. Now, you come from a family of medicine. Your father's a doctor, mother a nurse. Celeste is an educator. And I recall that you took a lot of time with this new chairmanship. You toured colleges around the state.
That's correct, John. I did. I actually went up to North Jersey to visit the schools that, not only the state schools, but I also visited the independent schools such as Fairleigh Dickinson. I visited Jersey City. I went to the community colleges. I wanted to see what higher education looked like throughout the whole state, not just here located in South Jersey. So.
Well, and those kind of relationships pay off because, as I mentioned, this was a real worker legislatively. This was not easy stuff. I mean, it was, you talk about institutional pushback. Change doesn't come easy.
No, it doesn't. But you know what? Sometimes change is good. And I think in this instance, change is going to move us forward and bring us New Jersey into the 21st century in not only medical education, but in higher education. We're going to have more research dollars now flowing into the state of New Jersey, but particularly here in South Jersey, which is going to be great. With Rowan and Rutgers partnering in technology and in medicine, I think that the sky's the limit right now for South Jersey. So
it's the right approach, by the way. It's the right approach.
That's great.
Because the growth in the state is in the southern part of the state, and we have a chance to learn what happened elsewhere and get it right. Celeste did an outstanding job chairing that committee. Not an easy topic, but a conclusion all of us think is going to pay dividends for decades. Stay with us. We're coming right back.
Life is a journey that we travel with a lot of uncertainty. When your family is faced with change and you're in need of understanding, direction, honesty, and professionalism, we at the Landolfi Funeral Home have a tradition of assisting you with all of your needs in any way that we can. We offer many affordable funeral services. Please feel free to call us with any questions you may have or visit us at www.landolfifuneralhome.com.
Rizzo Family Chiropractic Center in Gibbstown offers pain relief with a difference. Using specific chiropractic adjustments, Rizzo Family Chiropractic will get to the root of your problem quickly. Bring your headaches, neck, back, joint, or limb pain to Dr. Karen Rizzo. If you have recurring pain, chiropractic can help. Rizzo Family Chiropractic can relieve many sources of pain without extended treatment and ongoing therapy. Give your family the gift of caring professional pain relief with a difference. Rizzo Family Chiropractic.
It's time for Community Notes with Irma Stevenson. Irma, here we are at Weiss's.
I love coming to Weiss's. It's just old home week. It always has been and always will be. Happy birthday to one special person, John.
Who would that be? We're not having birthdays anymore.
We're not having birthdays. I think it's November 14th. Am I correct? Okay.
Thank you, Irma.
23 or 24.
Thank you.
And definitely happy birthday to Sarah Weiss, Dr. Walter Quinn, Joan Luntz, Don Muskrat Myers, John, there he goes, yep. Frankie Markagine, Jean Giampola, Willie Bay, Evelyn Gerlich, Mark Kemp, Virginia Scott, Barbara Bryan Jones, Joe Canistow, Kyle Kostrava, John Justice, Thomas Haddock, Wayne Haddock, Bridget Kathleen Maiden, Mark Michael O'Leary Jr., Wayne Filger, and Ginny Oswald. And happy anniversaries to Don and Chuck O'Leary and Dr. Walter and Cindy Quinn. Happy birthdays, happy anniversaries to the Scorpions, John.
That's a busy month of birthdays.
Oh, I forgot Elwood Hampton. Oh, my God. Elwood, we love you, and happy birthday to you, too. Yes, John, on November 24, the Gloucester County Freeholders and Economic Development shop local. So let's go to all our shops that are open in Paulsboro and shop. And
That's a good theme. It's a good theme. It's good to have that kind of focus because the little guys can't compete with national advertising. So you pick a day like that, and it becomes a theme day. Good idea.
Always says anything you want, John. It's here. There will be a spaghetti dinner at Hallsburg, George C. Patton VFW Post on Pearl Harbor Day, December the 7th, from 4 on. You can call for go by there, stop and have a beer or whatever, and you'll see the sign, and they'd love to have you in there. The PHS class of 1972 will have their 40th class reunion, November the 16th, at Babes at 7, and then the next day, they're going November the 17th, they're going to have a high school tour and go to the Sons of Italy. Call for details, 856-467-2691 or 856-423-0535. And, John, we have a lot of footage. The Paulsboro High School Golden Anniversary Reunion that was held at Aletto's on June 24th. I couldn't make it, John. I was in Paris, but I will be there next year. Also, the Redmond Football Camp. I heard on June 26th, I heard they had almost 300 kids.
That was a real nice program. If you recall, we had one of his people on our show to talk about it. The response was excellent. The facility, of course, was glistening that day. And for the kids to interact with professional football players. And, now Paulsboro High School has we have two. Well, I guess one is on the reserve squad.
Yes.
One's on reserve. And Redmond had a big night the other night. And we're probably going to have a third. So it's pretty impressive.
Right. And also, the homecoming parade this last on October 27th was the homecoming event. Of course, we had the Paulsboro High School Sports Hall of Fame. We'll talk about that later. But my great class of 1957, 55 years, was there. We had a tour of the high school. Jim Pandolfo did a great job. We rooted on our Red Raiders, and we also cheered on the parade, John. So it was real pause for pride.
Well, it was a very good day. In fact, let's drop in on the Paulsboro High School Sports Hall of Fame. Fred was kind enough to break up his evening, come over with the camera, and caught some of the opening ceremony footage. He had honored a good class, and the 1976 Paulsboro High School Red Raider football team, which was the first Paulsboro High School team to win a Colonial Conference in 18 years. There was a big drought. Always very competitive, always in the top three, but hadn't been winning. And that was the team that broke through and set the standard for what Paulsboro High School football has been ever since 1976. But remember, that was a nice night, wonderful attendance. You coordinated the tickets. The gym looked beautiful.
175 people. It certainly, there was a loss there, John and Betty Voge, but they were certainly there with us in spirit, John. Don't forget the Eva Thrift Boutique shop, Taylor Memorial Baptist Church, right next to them on the corner of 7th and Greenwich, 9A to 2P from Friday and Saturdays. They have great bargains, low prices, and they have neat stuff. Feed My Sheep at St. Paul's United Methodist Church is always held on the last Wednesday of every month from 11A to 1P. All are invited, John, and they really, our St. Paul's really are disciples, and they help the town and the people. And France Racing Beef and Beer, doesn't that Francis? On Friday, November the 16th, 50-50 raffles and such. Tickets are $25 in advance, $30 at the door, 856-423-0218 at the Rock and Stone Bar and Grill.
That sounds like a good combination, automobile racing and beer.
Well, I'm sure the cars will be parked. I'm sure they'll be parked in the parking lot, John. And that's about it, John. We've been busy. We'll have our Christmas show again. We're planning a date for that, and we never know what's going to happen or what's cooking on that one, John.
No, we don't. And that is a full community notes. I want a special thank you to Teresa Colinero, who was around with both her still camera and video camera, got the footage and shots from the Redmond camp, and also, as Erman mentioned, Paulsboro, that weekend was homecoming weekend, had a wonderful motorcade from the firehouse down to the high school. Irma's class anchored the corner. Good double handful of them, plus cheering the motorcade on. It's a lot of fun. That's going to do it for this program. For Fred Buchter behind the camera, for Bill Crane, our producer, who couldn't be here today. Irma?
Good luck to the Red Raiders. I understand we'll be playing Gloucester, John, starting off the playoffs. I think it's the 16th, whatever that. I don't know if it's Friday night or Saturday night. I haven't heard yet.
Well, Gloucester has lights.
Well, it'll probably be Friday night, and our young men and our coaches and our fans are the best. And see you on Broad Street, and go be great.
Until next time.